Is archive library worth it? I mean, fuck no. You might be asking, why do I think archive is not worth it? Especially when I've made so many videos on this game for about 2 weeks now or more. So you could fully understand my reasoning, I'm gonna put this into 3 parts. The first part is gonna be my experience and subjective opinion on the game. And then the second part is going to be other subjective opinions and experiences on the game. And the third and final last one is going to be the game overall. Before we actually get into the video though, if you guys do have your own opinions on the game, make sure to comment down below. I'll be happy to hear them out. So before we get into this segment, I just want to say my opinion overall shouldn't cloud your judgment on the game. If anything, you should test out the game yourself. The game will be in the description below. So with that being said, let's get into the segment. Now, my opinion and experience on the game. Ever since the release of the game, I've been playing it non-stop, so I could say for sure that my experience was tolerable. But just because it was tolerable doesn't mean that it was good. The game had so many bugs on release. For example, quests were either broken or a genuine pain for you to do. Certain skills/pages didn't work. Singularity extractor was broken, so if you killed someone with a singularity, you'd have to literally make a ticket to get it, and then even then you need full fortified proof. And it's like, bro, why are you doing so much just to try to get a singularity? Dungeons like El Corp was buggy. There was a time where you'd get wiped for going into library. They made a whole code about that and stuff like that. The list literally goes on. Till this very second, I could still say that there are so many sufficient bugs in the game that are absolutely game changing. But for some of you who don't know, there's a bug to unwipe and also a quest glitch. It's caused people to have so many singularities and items that trading isn't even an option. You see people with like 50 plus singularities and you start to question, how did they end up getting so much? I refuse to believe that those people just got singularities legit, because in my lifetime of playing this game, I've only got like 2 legit singularities and the rest were gifts. Aside from the bugs though, the game was very good. I mean, it still is. When it comes to community interaction, it's perfect. The community really loves cosplaying their favorite characters from different games and making their builds based on that character. The PvP was also a very fun experience. I boss raided a lot of people and sometimes got snuck by 4 people, but hey, it's part of the game. It's the thrill. Speaking about the thrill, permadeath. The permadeath system is fine for me, just like any other game. To be realistic with you, I don't think I could have much fun without having the slight fear of actually wiping and having to do everything again. In this case, this replicates that feeling. Not like Deep Woken, as with this game you could just bring yourself back with an item called Rewind Time. At the start of the game, all you really had to do was get this item by beating a grade 1 to 2 library, where you would face either Roland or Gibber. This made wiping not even a concern, as you can just bring back your character easily. However, then the rates fucking changed, and I hated it. Like I told you, I do love the thrill of PD games, but when you offer an unwiping option and make it so fucking tedious to get, it's kind of draining. Like, some would make the argument that that's how it's supposed to be, but no, it's not hard, it's just so boring and long to get. Doing the same repetitive dungeon for one thing you might not even get, and it's not even hard. I do believe that Darlu did do some shadow buffs to the chances though. I've been getting a whole bunch of rewinds time recently, so I'm chilling. As for my opinion on the game, it does have so much potential, but as of right now, it's kind of bad. The dungeons aren't as satisfying anymore, and the appeal to the game's content has already expired. The only thing that keeps me in the game right now is literally my autistic mindset and making cosplay builds like Naruto and then PvP in the game. But how far can PvP go alone in the game? I mean, look at Deep Woken. A year or so off, just pure build making and ganking, and it's kind of boring now, let's be honest. When I was making videos for the game and genuinely trying to get help, I got egoed and dog-walked by the archive team. The game released and I wanted to make a video, specifically the Shin and Mang video that I currently have up. Some of you guys actually only know me as the guy who made the Shin and Mang video from archive, but hey, behind the scenes, it literally took me 1 to 2 weeks to make that video because of the sheer arrogance of the team. Now, it's not all of them, but before I go in depth, I just want to say yes, as a content creator, I shouldn't expect to be handheld through the game. I shouldn't, it's just the fact. But when someone agrees to help and then messes around, it's genuinely so annoying. Like, you didn't need to help, it's just the fact how you did everything but help. You get what I mean? Again, you wasn't obliged to help. You didn't need to. You didn't have to say yes, I will help. But getting into detail, I wanted to get a Shin and Man guide done, so I asked both Noted and Verx. Noted is he's an ex-moderator now, and Verx is a developer. I asked both of them to help me out, and they both agreed. And then all that waited for me was horror. I got a fixes note from Noted, however the game was bugged. I couldn't invite anyone into an office. This bug alone made it so I couldn't even do this video for a day. So I finally asked Verx, hey man, can you manually set yourself into my company so I can grip you and get Mon? He was like, nah, I don't join offices. Like I actually wanted him in my actual office or something. That wasn't the case. I'm telling him, yo, bro, this is for a video, remember? And then he sets me a temporary shin stag and then just disregarded me for the whole day, literally just running off. I DM him saying, this has to be rage bait, right? And he just replies saying, heh, and nothing else since that day. I then find Darlu in my server after I was complaining about how the game is bugged. I tell him, yo, you don't seem busy, so can you set my guys to my office so I could actually make this video or at least fix the game, because this game is bugged. And I ended up getting jumped. Not gonna lie, I was pissed off at that point, so I probably came off rude, but still, the game needed to be fixed because you was basically soft locked of getting Shin and Mang. No one could get Shin and Mang. It was only a few days later until the bug was finally fixed and then I was able to continue my Shin and Mang video. I literally remember DMing Noted saying, like, I'm absolutely done. Like, I just can't get a video done. I can't believe this is a service I'm getting even though people have accepted to help me, this, that, and the third. And it was genuinely a bad time. I couldn't get a video done. Seriously. But with that being said, to the next segment. For this segment, I asked multiple people to come on call with me and just answer the questions that I had, and I hope their experiences also shed light on what's going on in the game. Not only what's going on in the game, but just public opinion overall about the game.
Well, release was really bad, like really bad. Over time it improved because the devs had to focus on bug fixes. But due to that, we're currently lacking on content updates, which is just solely killing off the game.
I loved it a lot because it was a parry game, like parry turn game like Deep Oaken or something else. But it was way different than Deep Oaken or roguelike games at all because it had light intended. Like there's this light function with those pages and everything. The ego, it's just everything about it makes it special.
Well, to be honest, I've been in this game for like since the start of development and whatnot, and his previous project, which was Mountfall. I've seen the ups and downs of this game, but since release, I guess I could say it's fun. It's fun to say the least, but like, low-key, the game is just boring to me since I've been like in this community for like 3 years and shit. So, yeah.
Well, like, I think the game came out in a decent state. I was excited about all the egos and shit, since I'm a little Library of Ruina fanboy. I was really excited to actually see stuff like Fell Bullet in the game. That was probably the thing that I was, like, the most hyped to see. In reality, it wasn't, like, all that crazy. In game-wise, it's not all that to actually use Fell Bullet. But it definitely looks cool. Like, the cosmetic they have in game for it nowadays is one of my favorites, but cosmetic wise, I think the egos on release were top tier. Unfortunately, it was all flash and no substance, if that makes sense.
I mean, it's gotten a bit better, definitely with the updates. They have been much better for the game in balancing wise and in content wise. In closed access, we didn't get much of an opinion from the community or anything. So at least we're getting something positive.
Yeah, like, Rosenet Desire, for example, has one fucking move that never works because it's balanced so poorly. And honestly, the cosmetic that it has isn't even that great. As opposed to something like Mimicry, which gives you a really drippy suit and is basically the most busted ego in the game, bar none.
On release, it was really bad again. Simply because EXP felt so bad and didn't work properly, where only Kukamil really gave EXP. Now that all of that is fixed, I'm enjoying the game a lot more, but the community is just killing the game for me. The toxicity and negativity the community sometimes brings is bad, and I feel like some systems in the game, for example, rank points, promote this toxicity, where it actively promotes you ganking random people in the hopes they're great one.
Ever since the release, it's been like a mixed review type of shit, you know? It's like, it's in the middle, but like, the game is fun, and sometimes it's not fun because of the updates and whatnot, like nerfing Blood Fiends and just buffing it and nerfing and blood, you know, yada yada and whatnot. It's just been like unbalanced and whatnot, and look, it just ruined the game for me.
It was very great. I love to play with the community, and I love the community itself of the game. I love the PvE and the PvP sides of the game. It's just balanced. It's just perfect.
Honestly, pretty good. I've kind of expected how it was. Just a lot of new players trying out the game. I'm glad that it's getting traction, though. At least there's some people to fight.
Honestly, the first few days that I played the game were really rough because I was just learning game mechanics. I always spent my time in PDs because of the quicker progression. I work a 9 to 5, and then I have a small business where I make props. So I don't have that much time to spend on video games to begin with, so anything that speeds up progression is something I use. But because it was PDs and because I was new to the game, I would always die to fucking rats at the beginning, and it would just end up slowing me down and kill my motivation because they just had this crazy AI that felt like it was parrying everything I was doing before I actually did it. It was really hard to deal with, and it was really frustrating because then I got to the higher tier contracts and Twin Hook Pirates just absolutely rocked my shit. So it was a really frustrating process, but eventually I found a group of people to actually play the game with. I was dog shit. I got carried in the library by them, and I just watched them play the game, and as I watched them play the game, I picked up on things. I got better at the game. I got better at PvP. I got better at PvE. And not even like a week or two after that, I got good enough to solo libraries and actually start like going on my own and fighting people, which was really fun. Fighting people is actually probably my favorite thing to do in this game. Even when I do get dog walked, because admittedly, if I'm not warmed up, I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed.
And honestly, the community for some reason really just likes spreading rumors to the point where people decide to ruin your gameplay for those rumors. So yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
For example, a rumor that started about me is that I apparently was in a relationship with a underage girl. No, I knew her from a Cobblemon server. That's it. We don't even talk anymore. And just because I had them friended, people made an entire rumor saying I was some PYRO'S cynical or something. That's another content creator who turned out to be a groomer apparently. Don't even know the dude. And because of that argument, whenever I join a game and someone knows about the rumor, they quite literally just try to gank me and then call me shit. Or they try to interrupt me going to library and just ruin my gameplay in general.
I think there needs to be new ways of grinding. I think there needs to be a new dungeon, like a big dungeon that is really hard but actually has a good reward at the end. I think La Manchalon could actually be that dungeon. Like, you gotta fight Don Quixote, the founder, and like if you kill him, there's like, I don't know, a 0.5% chance of dropping the Grail Cup of fucking Kindreds or some shit, and it turns you into a Generation 1. So it's no longer just a spec that is only accessible to people. Like, it would be a bit crazy and a bit busted because of how Blood Fiends work, but from what I've heard, they're also adding in new races, so maybe it's not that crazy.
More PvE content, because I honestly think the majority of the player base is more focused on PvE than PvP. That's why I would rather get some PvE stuff.
What could be added? A lot more in-game content. There's simply just nothing to do. in the entire game. Once you hit grade 1. The only real endgame content you currently have is Warp Train and libraries, which both get extremely boring. There's nothing to do outside of PD ganking, or just ganking in general, or seeking fights. You need like an arena game mode and whatnot, and probably more PvE-centric game modes for the endgame people to try and get new items.
That being said, I just feel like there does need to be some way to get better loot, better weapons, better everything, essentially. Because some weapons are really good, yes, but it gets boring just seeing the same 3 old boys workshops every day, you know? It gets boring seeing the same Mimicry Blade build over and over again. It gets boring seeing Blue Star Orb every single day. It's not fun to fight the same builds over and over and over again.
Like I just said, I think the rank system is killing the game. So a ranked system like 1v1s of some sort, or Chime of Conflict, what Deepwoken has, so that the PvP community and the toxicity can just go there and leave the PvE community alone. On top of that, just new content in general. I'm not talking about new pages like we had with the smoke pages or the Ujet, or new weapons. We really don't need those. I mean, a whole bunch of egos, more dungeons, and something that I think this game desperately needs is some rewards for going through that struggle of wiping your slot. For example, in Deepwoken, they have like a point exchange. I think a point exchange system like that in Archive could be nice, because right now there really isn't any point to wiping your slot, and you're better off keeping it in hell until you finally get a rewind of time from begging or farming library. So yeah, I think a system like that could help the game have more replayability.
That question is interesting because there isn't much to add into this game overall, like regarding combat or whatnot. But like, if we're talking about combat, I suppose we could just add like more, I guess, just fixes to the, like, you know, changes to like rush, charge attacks, M1s and whatnot, and parry. Parry is very fucking slow for some reason in this game now. And I guess endgame could also be, you know, improved on, you know, just PD, and like the map overall is just like really fucking small for PD, so I guess it could be expanded a little and whatnot.
First off, the rank point system, they should just add a 1v1 ranked, and that you can get 4v1 easily.
Okay. That's an interesting question. There's a lot of things that I dislike about this game. Mainly how shit and buggy the game is. It's been like this for 3 fucking years. 3 fucking years. Every new update just comes with 50 new fucking bugs. And I've tested for this game. I've been a tester for a bit. Right now I'm not a tester anymore, obviously, but like, you know, I low-key think Noki's kind of carrying this game with his bug fixes and whatnot. So yeah, nothing much to say there. It's just the, you know, the bugs that are fucking up the game.
I mean, the fact that a lot of the game is purely just hyper parry based, so parry baiting is just 90% of the content. Any light weapon that can bait with
Mostly the two-sided face community it has, and the toxicity they bring. I generally feel like I'm playing Type Soul or Demonfall again, with how the community acts. And if it's about gameplay itself, I think the worst thing I can really mention is the MS some of the servers bring. Sometimes I join a German server that just started an hour ago, and I'm running 300 MS. I know this is somewhat of a Roblox issue, but in other games I'm not running this issue. So Archive, I think, is somewhat of the problem as well.
I absolutely despise some of the ways some of these moves interact with each other. Like, I can hit somebody with a true combo the moment they miss a parry, and it only costs me 5 light, and it'll do 120 damage. But
if I decide to go the route of using Raging Demon, which I have on my main build, it takes 7 light. Now, to get 7 light, you have to be grade 1 and have a motion level. Now, getting a motion level in the middle of a fight is a pain in the ass, even with energetic trait, which I actually run on the build. It takes fucking forever to trigger that shit. So even after I do that, I'll try to go use Raging Demon when they're right in front of me, and they can just parry it super fucking easily. A move like Raging Demon should not be parryable. The balancing in that is fucking stupid. That shit should be dodgeable only. And it should hit grounded or something, like it's a grab. Not to mention that I shouldn't be hit by one Atelier Crystal dual sword thingo, and then get hit into fucking Sky Kick, then kicking, then Sanguine Dive, and then suddenly my entire HP bar is gone. Like, most builds are balanced in this game, but the meta-manced ones, you're not winning. Like, if they're good and they're on a meta-manced build, you're not winning. It's that simple. Boo-hoo, you tried to have fun with the game.
It's an interesting question, to be honest, but like, I guess it can be worth it in the long run, as long as the game just doesn't like go, stray off its like, straight path. I guess it can get good, as long as the devs, well, like, the devs obviously just don't fuck it up, like how Deep Woken does, as you can see, Deep Woken. Yeah, I guess Archive can be an okay game.
Because there's coming up very much stuff for content, for PvE, for PvP, and it's like one of the best games that I've ever played on Roblox.
This is quite a difficult question. I'm gonna be really honest, because I can't predict the future, but I feel like the game has a lot of potential, and hope and wish with all my heart that it is. I really want to see some of these devs that help me out with videos, and they're just genuinely nice, like Kaide or Okis, and even Darilu himself, be able to look back at the game and feel proud of what they made, and maybe even get rich off of it, like some other games do. And they can feel that all those hours were worth it. However, as of for now, I'm unsure, and I don't know where this game is going to go. It's currently dying, and if this update isn't the best update we've seen so far ever, I don't know if this game is going to hold up for very, very much longer.
Long run, I mean, the devs seem to like working on the game, and since Jar is making it as a passion project, it has a lot of like potential. Is it going to make it in the long run? Really depends on the side of how Dar wants to take the content, and also how he wants to kind of deal with everything in general. It's the only Project Moon RPG on Roblox. It has a good chance of just becoming really big, or at least decently sized in the future.
I honestly don't know much about how the content team works for this game. I don't know how many developers actually do their job, or if any of them slacks off, or if it's just Darilu in the kitchen fucking cooking every update and he's just slaving away. I don't know how it goes. But I'm cautiously optimistic about the game, as I am with anything. I don't like to be pessimistic about things. I think this game is great. I think the combat loop is amazing. I just think they need to expand on it. I think they need more content. I think they need more singularities. I think they need more of everything. Also, if any of the developers are fucking hearing this, please, please, please slide into my DMs. I have Red Queen and fucking Prototype Excalibur models ready for you. Please do not be sons of bitches. Just add them into the game. I swear to God, it is the easiest bag you'll ever get from me.
For those of you who don't know who Verx is, he's a developer for Archived, and this segment is simply here to shed light on the stuff that he's done for the community. I can easily say that he's done more bad than good for the purpose of his entertainment and quote-unquote fun. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, then you just have to deep dive with me. During my older Archive streams, Verx would pop up on there, staggering me and doing commands on me, setting my hair, etc., which I didn't really care about, and he was having fun. I was not harmed, and it was kind of funny. But Just because it was funny doesn't mean it's right. I'm assuming that Verx seeing that nobody cared about his abusive commands made him want to do it more and put it to the next level, which is actually seen on PYRO'S stream, where Pyro's trying to give back to the community by doing a tournament for a singularity, one of the rarest items in the game, if not the rarest item in the game.
My bad, guys. There you go. Oh my days. What fucking admin is like... Come on, bro. Verx, if you're on the stream, please don't. Like, actually. Huh. Bro. Oh. Oh my days, this is amazing.
Now, this is one of those streams where I actually joined to watch just to see what was going on, and then 5 minutes into me watching the stream, I see Pyro getting respawned, his hair IDs being changed, and him getting staggered and a whole bunch of other stuff which was stopping him from doing the tournament. I was looking at my screen like Dexter when he lost his blood slides, and I was like, bro, no way they doing my mans like this. Let him make his content. It kept going on for 10 minutes and you can clearly hear the stress on Pyro's voice, literally showing signs that maybe whoever was doing this should stop, but no. It kept on happening until Pyro cut stream early before the tournament even started. Now you could probably assume what happened next. Verx's actions got reported to Darlu, the game owner, and Verx's bot permissions got removed. But it didn't end there. Instead of taking it by the chin and owning up, Verx grew resentment towards content creators who work hard on putting out the game to the platform? Yeah, doesn't make sense. He started bringing up statements regarding Pyro's channel saying that he's under the CC requirement, which is true, but Pyro's the only active CC right now who is making over 7k views in every video he drops on archive. So he should be an exception, right? And even then, what about the other content creators who have even less numbers than Pyro? Bro, you can easily tell he's on a hunt. He even goes baby raging saying, I'm about to Nepo as well, as a rebuttal to him keeping the role. You can tell that it's bad when Darlu literally spawns in the chat talking about some, you know damn well why I'm pinging you. I'm not gonna lie, bro, looking back at this, I was eating this argument up. Seeing Darlu and Verx just argue about Verx not being able to take responsibility had to be a highlight. It just shows the incompetence of Verx. Mind you, and Verx probably will be watching this, and if you are, hi. But you are one out of the 1 million animators on Roblox. You're expendable, buddy. Like, you being an animator doesn't mean shit, honestly. Unless you have some contract I don't know about, you're an animator that could just be gone tomorrow, bro. I have a better animation on speed dial that could easily replace you, bro. Like, generally speaking, I'll probably put his animations right here on the screen, bro. He is way better than you. I'm just saying, bro. Me personally, I just think he's better than you. But just like how I could be banned from archive, you can also lose your position as well. So stop acting like you're invincible, buddy. Alright, so it's currently the next day of me recording this video, and I actually got a whole bunch of new information about Verx. So, but even behind the scenes, this guy is kind of like power tripping and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you the screenshots right here. I was allowed to show them, but as you can see, it's literally just Verx just power tripping, saying that, oh, I have more value than you, this, that, and the third. And he's talking to other claws like this, other mods, other admins like this. He's saying, do not oppose me, and he's banning people. I don't know the context, but here it is. He's definitely trying to power trip against these people. You could obviously see Hitwix is getting power tripped right here. And then right here you see someone complaining about Verx's actions and decisions. And then again, it's just him power tripping and stuff like that. So hey, there's stuff that I don't even know about this Verx guy, and it seems pretty bad, man. It seems pretty bad. What I do have to say overall about this Verx guy is that, yeah, he could be a fun guy, I'm not gonna lie. He's not an absolute bad person. He's not like a pedophile or anything like that. He's not a predator. But he has done a lot of negative stuff. If it wasn't to the whole community, then it was just to a specific amount of people. The one question I have towards you is, why do you have so much resentment towards content creators, even people who haven't even talked to you yet, man? I look back at your chat log and you're like, oh, this is like the only smart content creator. Oh, this is the only content creator I've added. It's like, bro, like, it's not our fault that you lost perms, bro. It really isn't. Some of this may sound like a repeat of the first part, however I just want you guys to understand the two paths that this game can go. This game could end up like Deep Woken, or it could pick back up and have its own optimal path. I did a survey with a whole bunch of other people, and the only concerns that I saw was the lack of content. And I mean, if you look at the PvP side of stuff, you can't even get ranked from PD anymore. We still have the same old library that you can now do probably in 8 minutes now because of how easy it is. And it's just straight bandit beating and it's not even that hard. And then you have the book trading gacha system. You trade a book and you could by chance get a singularity. Believe it or not, there are people who actually sit there for an hour just trading books. I guess it makes sense since the gacha system correlates to the actual Limbus game, but you have to ask yourself, how long can you keep this up? It's not like you're not working. You're probably even working harder now as you probably realize the state of the game. You don't want to disappoint. But one thing I will always say is that whatever path you take, you can never hit rock bottom like Deep Woken or Type Soul. I mean, you are the only RPG Limbus game on the platform. It would be impossible to lose it all. But let's go into the lore of the game. Something I actually was motivated to play the game for. Outside of Archive, I actually contributed into multiple games when it came to lore. So I could say that I am quite the lore writer myself. So seeing that people could immerse themselves into the lore of this game, it felt quite satisfying. After you get max, some grinded for singularities, some PD yanked for rank, but I wanted to be involved with lore, so I made it happen. My company now has 70 plus official members and about 340 people in our Discord, so you can obviously see that we don't accept anyone. You can obviously tell why. Anyways, I wanted to be in lore so much and was excited when I actually became a part of lore. Only for the head of lore to literally just leave the game, like... oh my god. While I was planning this video, I was initially going to go into detail about why they left, but I can't bring myself to see that disgusting document again. Let's just say that a longtime member of Archive was exposed to be an absolute degenerate, and there was proof/word that Darlu and his staff team didn't care until now. But back onto the lore, them leaving definitely did impact lore. I genuinely don't know what's going to become of it, and if it does end up not continuing, then I'm done with Archived. Really and truthfully, it's fun playing Archived. I would be lying if I said I wasn't playing Archived most of my time and genuinely enjoying it. But while I was playing it, I couldn't turn a blind eye to the cons that was in the games. I mean, they just kept showing. It felt like a waste of time. And I know there will be updates, but I still have that feeling that something is wrong. So if I don't end up quitting, then I just won't be playing the game as much and only caring for my company. So with that being said, I ask you this question one more time. Do you think Archive Library is worth it?